Hello, everybody. Your real
It's Friday.
back.
We're back. Do we have a show for you today?
Yeah, and we are very excited about said show and the one today because this is something. Of course, as movie lovers, this conversation always needs to come up. So we are glad to be talking about it today. And so, just to start things off, as we normally do, just a quick recap. Anything new you watched this week, Sir Gary?
I finally finished Venom.
There we go.
Yeah, I finished it this morning, but I finished it. I liked it a lot, and I am very excited for the second one because my favorite part of Venom was the very end at the convenience store. And I was like, you know what? I think the second one's going to be more of this inner dialogue conversation. How do they coincide together? So, yeah, I finished Venom and watched a couple documentaries like I do. You know how I be. But,
Yeah, of course. Good. Yeah, for me, I actually, unfortunately, haven't watched any new movies or anything. I've been more playing video games. But probably the last movie I did watch, though, which you'll be proud of, is I did watch Mystery Men again. I think that was this week, though.
Yeah.
And still funny, and I still highly enjoy it.
It's been so long since I've seen that. I like that movie, though, a lot. It's great. Yeah. Hey, now you're an all-star, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
So
I wonder how many people actually remember that's what that song's from. Probably people our age.
Probably not. I think most people don't even know that movie exists, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But bringing back a goodie from Ben Stiller, so that's good.
Oh, yeah. Ben Stiller.
So, and speaking of catching up, here we go. Good old Cole said he got Ethan to watch Tenet with him, and he loved it. Yes, Ethan, proud of you for being a man of culture.
Yeah. Good job, Ethan. Good job, Cole. Sharing the news of Tenet.
So here we are, moving right along. And, someone else is here. We go. We got George coming in. Telling us
all three
of the Rush Hours. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Oh, Rush Hour 2 is so funny. That's my favorite one of those. I don't remember Rush Hour 3. I remember Rush Hour 2, though. You know? Yeah.
And then look at that. Aunt Sherry watched Justice League, the long version, again last night.
Good job. Aunt Sherry, very proud of you. Very proud of you. Put away that Justice League, the other one you have, which I think you still have my copy. Don't throw it away because it's mine, but good job. Yeah. You know my favorite part of Rush Hour 2 is when the guy's singing "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough," and then Chris Tucker is very upset because he's not, and then Chris Tucker sings it.
Yeah, he does it right. He does.
Yeah, so, I'm not gonna sing it, but you know.
Yeah, I know. I will say I'm very glad that we have people even letting us know what they watch, which is great.
Yeah.
We get to talk about those briefly, so that's good.
Just want to shout out George. He's on vacation this week, and he spent time watching movies. So. Hats off to our audience so far.
Hey, that's a good way to spend vacation. If you want to just sit around and do nothing, just watch movies.
Dang right.
So much. Right. So today we are digging into the topic for today, which is sequels that we never got. I don't know if that's grammatically correct, but that's what we're going with. And
it works for me.
Yeah. And so everyone knows what we're doing here is it could be a one-off movie that should have received a sequel we never got, or it could be a movie that maybe we got two movies that needed a third, or maybe three movies that needed a fourth. I don't know. But Gary and I have picked our top 5 movies that we believe should have received a sequel. And we don't know what each other has picked. So we're just going to be rolling with the punches here.
We're live.
We're going to be going into, and we're live. And before we dig into it, if you haven't yet, subscribe. Turn on the bell so you don't miss out any future videos from Real Pastors. Because we are, again, on a winning streak now.
We're here. 3 in a row. Look at us. Look at us. Yes. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, shout out to our new subscribers. We got a couple new ones the other night. Welcome to the family. Efren, I think I'm excited about today's show because who among us in movie fandom hasn't had this conversation? You're standing around the convenience store, or you're hanging around the office and you're talking movies, and you know what else you just comes up. You know what movie deserves a sequel? You know what I wish they made more of? Blah, fill in the blank. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've got my 5. Efren's got his 5. What are some of yours? And I want to reiterate, I don't know what Efren's about to say. He doesn't know what I'm about to say.
Nope.
So we're just going to go with it.
So if any are the same, it will be a coincidence. Or just have the same taste, but either way. But yes, but as Gary said, please comment along. Let us know if you agree, disagree, or maybe you're just like, hey, here's one I wish that we got. We would love to hear it. Because that's the point of this channel, is just talking about something we all love, which is movies.
And I just want to say once again, one time, this isn't sequels we would do differently. That's a fix-it episode. That's for another time. This is sequels that didn't happen. That and movie studios, maybe they'll get wind of this, and maybe something will happen.
Yep. So as we start off, I guess, should I just start off, Sir Gary?
Yes, we'll let you start because you got the posters. I didn't do my homework.
So he doesn't. So okay. So my first one, and this one is one to me that's a long time coming. There's always been rumors, Gary, that they're going to do a sequel, but it's just never happened, and it completely makes me upset. And it is District 9. And District 9, when this movie came out, it had a lot of interesting, I don't know, just interesting dynamics to it, I guess is probably the way to put it. It had a lot of hype because it was something that people just didn't really know what to come of it. I know a lot of us at the time, those of us who are gaming fans, talked about, wow, this movie looks a lot like a game called Half-Life, and it's just like, man, this looks really, really fun. And so we watched it. This one, it is, it's pretty violent, literal aliens and stuff like that. But it's a movie that was just so good, so well acted, so well written, and never got a sequel. And this is, like I said, many, many rumors that is going to happen. I've heard over the years, we have it set, we have a script, and then nothing ever happened to it. And I think recently there's another one that's like, hey, it's happening, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it until I see a trailer, Gary. And that's why I get it. And that's why this one is on my list for sequels we never got.
Well, I had a feeling that was going to be on your list.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So I fall in the category of people who this movie just didn't fall on my radar. But it's come highly recommended by you and others. And I still need to borrow it because I think you said you own it, don't you?
I do own it.
Yeah. So, yeah, but there are actually there's a article I pulled up here. It says, but I agree with what you're saying, not until you see a trailer, District 9 sequel is coming, says writer and director Neil Blomkamp. So Blomkamp. So
which is great. But again, those things have been, it's been said before. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, nope, I need the real thing. And then you see the wife, yes, 100%. So yes, I have another person who's maybe the wife. She gets it. It did. This movie that ended on a cliffhanger. I mean, it did. Like there was a promise that was made to help, move the story along. It was like the story in and of itself specifically ended, but it still had a cliffhanger. It's like, we have a lot more to explore in this world, and they just never did. So,
when this come out, 2009? Was it 2009 it came out?
I think so. I think it was somewhere around there.
You end on a cliffhanger, and it's 2021. That's just cruel.
Yes.
It's just cruel. So.
Yes. There we go. George has seen it. Guess that's tonight's movie. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right on, George.
Yep. That was it's a good one, and it is someone that just come on, just get it done. All right, Mr. Blomkamp, you said you have it written. Let's get it done.
Do it. Okay, so that's a great way to kick off. I just want to say I am a loser today, as usual. I do not have fancy posters like Efren. I forgot once again. I am sorry. While he was making posters and having the fancy stuff, I was making coffee and watching random YouTube videos. So, I'm sorry to our audience. However, my first movie, I have to explain it a little bit. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's Man of Steel 2. What? You might be saying, but we got Batman versus Superman. Yes, we did. The Ultimate Edition. That is not Man of Steel 2. That is a continuation of that fringe, of that universe. However, Man of Steel 2, we never got, still haven't got, and we deserved it, and we needed it. And Efren, I don't want to dive too much into this because one, we've talked about it before, but two, this is a episode of Fix It, because the key piece to fixing the DCEU, in my opinion, is putting in that Man of Steel 2 in between Man of Steel, which is a classic, by the way. I will fight for that movie till my dying day. And in between Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. We needed that bridge. And Henry Cavill, Christopher Reeves, I love you. He's my Superman, and he deserves more. We should have got Man of Steel 2, and I don't think we will. And it makes me sad, but anyway. So there we go. Man of Steel 2 is the sequel that we never got that I wish we would have.
That we would have at least had a little bit of breathing room to see Superman do some other things in the world, being Superman-like, and then you dig into all the issues of Batman versus Superman of should we even keep him around? Should he be here? Like you could have dug into a little bit more of that before diving into now Batman hates you. So, but yeah, again, we can dig into that one a little bit.
I debated putting that on the list because I knew it was going to be a Fix It episode at some point, but I can't talk sequels. I wish I had and not include that one. My dog's losing it downstairs. I have no idea why, but the show must go on.
Yeah, show must go on.
Happy birthday, Cash, by the way. Today's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Cash. Yep. So coming up next for me, good sir, is a movie that I know quite a few people liked. I think some might not have, but I thoroughly enjoyed. And it is the movie I Am Legend by Will Smith. Oh, by Will Smith, starring Will Smith. And this is one that I really liked a lot because it was like a different take on the zombie movies. And honestly, during this time frame of when this movie came out, there were quite a few zombie movies that decided, hey, we're going to take a different look at it. And this was one of them. And I really liked it a lot that he, without trying to spoil too much in case you haven't watched it, that he's trying to come up with essentially a vaccine to help fix this virus that turns everyone into zombies. And then him just trying to work. And it's pretty much just him and his dog in a sweet Shelby GT 500 Mustang in all of New York. And he's just going through it, and then you go through the story, and then this is another one that it ends. It does end in a way where it's like, okay, well, I guess that has a fitting end, and you just leave the imagination to what happens next. But being able to see what would actually happen, and then honestly, them having on the Blu-ray release the alternate ending makes it even more like, oh my gosh, like there's so much that they could have explored with or without that alternate ending in this world, and seeing them fight back. And that was one that I just thought that truly just deserved at least one more. I don't think you can stretch it 3, but at least one more to just kind of close it all out.
Yeah. I Am Legend's a great movie, and I'm just hoping a year or two from now, we're not looking back at this movie as a documentary. George points out right there. George, see, George, we're right there. We're on the same wavelength, buddy. No, this movie, I love. It's just gonna sound really, really weird, but people know I'm weird by now. I love movies about isolation, and and just the fact that he's, you know what I'm saying, like it. And I get a little jealous during the day for Will Smith's life sometimes. He's in New York City by himself. He's just got his dog, and he goes to the movie store, and he's going through the movies in order. Then he returns it. I was always respected that, and but yeah, I agree. I would love to see more of this universe, especially how we get the alternate ending and all that. We definitely would love to see a sequel. I actually was going through making my list, and this came up, and I was like, I was gonna put it on mine, but I was like, I guarantee you, Efren's got this one on there. So
that's why it was hard making the list, because I was also trying to think what would Gary not have, and then this one and District 9 were the two that I was like, I bet you Gary would guess these and then back off so I could have him, because he's just
that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Wow. You know what I like about I Am Legend is the zombies or whatever. Obviously I love The Walking Dead, and they have they're still looked at as people. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? There's heart to them. They're like a pack, and he's trying to help them. It's not just like stab in the head. It's just like you said, different take. I like that. So,
the zombies have a little bit more human element. They still have a little bit of their humanity in there, They just can't control everything else.
Yeah. All right. So these next few, I'm going to start to show my age a little bit. But let's see. Ghostbusters 3. Ghostbusters 3.
All right.
We never got a Ghostbusters 3. And it bothers me that we didn't, because I don't think Ghostbusters 2 is awful, but I think it should have been a solid trilogy to the Ghostbusters. And I'm not throwing shade at the one we got recently with the ladies. And this one we have coming out is not a proper Ghostbusters 3. Just is. But, with the original cast, Harold Ramis passed away. It can never happen, with the original cast. And I always wish we got a proper Ghostbusters 3.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yes. Especially because, like you said, the second one wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. But there's still one more would have really done it justice. And Afterlife we're getting, I guess it's their kids or something. I don't know. But either way, it's
pretty good, but it's not Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, it's not the same. Not the same at all. Sorry.
Yeah. Efren has apparently fell out of his chair. Oh, there he is. Oh, hey, it's Fiona.
She is begging to be picked up and is bothering.
Welcome to the show, Fiona. I think this is her Real Pastor's debut. Am I right? Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
Moving right along now, and hopefully she will chill for me. But for the next one, and just kind of keeping in line here with what my last one, World War Z. Sure. World War Z. Did you think that one too? For me.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. See, and this is the thing.
We're too close. We're too friendly.
We truly are. We talk movies a little bit too much. But again, another one that ends like another take on zombie movies, and this one, of course, is one that has a different take, but is also. Sorry. Okay, Fiona, you're gonna have to just figure it out, girl. This isn't working. My apologies, folks. And but another one that has this great premise and has a great story that is being told, and you have him trying to figure out what's going on and treating this more kind of like a virus. So maybe George, you with I Am Legend, maybe you can't watch this one either because they're trying to find the source of this, and they're trying to find the where this virus came from that's turning everyone into zombies. So maybe it's another one of those. Probably be a documentary in the future. But again, like what this guy goes through, and then how it ends, it is just like, okay, I would like to see this, like I Am Legend, just one more, see this thing fleshed out a little bit. And again, this is another one that had rumors of a sequel, and that had those rumors that said, hey, we're going to finish the story, and it just never happened. So this is why I'm like, come on, guys, like, go ahead and finish it off. Not everything has to be a trilogy. Sometimes just a second one can finish off the story and do well. And this is another one that did that. And especially because, like, if you haven't seen the movie, my apologies, but the zombies in this do something that's very different than we've seen from any other zombies, and how they interact and how they pick out their prey. Let's put it that way. And that whole element I thought was really fun and really good. And I would like to see the humans that are still alive exploit that to save the world. Like, let's see how you go about doing this to save everyone. And that's what I would want from that sequel.
Efren, you know this about me. I'm not sure many people do, but I'm a big Brad Pitt fan. I have defended his acting skills for years. A lot of people think he's just the rom-com pretty boy guy. Right. No, Brad Pitt is a phenomenal actor, and he is great at his craft. And this movie is a passion project of his. I don't think people know that, but he was all about making this movie. He wanted to get it made for a really long time. I remember reading an article about it in Entertainment Weekly back in the day about how much he was excited about this movie and how he tried to get it made. And apparently this is another one that's been talked about for years for a sequel. But yeah, World War Z is very good, very underrated, and probably the zombies in this movie terrify me. You know why? Because they run.
Fast zombies.
Zombies that run are absolutely terrifying. And these zombies don't just jog, they sprint. It is like, Usain Bolt's coming after you. And yeah, continue the story because it needs it.
Yes. Yeah, and
And
I'm
Brad
pretty sure.
Pitt is awesome in this.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Brad Pitt's like, let's get this done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's his passion project, so it is one that definitely needs to be followed up.
Yep. Okay. So what's this? My third one, number 3.
Yes.
Okay. Edge of Tomorrow 2.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna
Yep.
have that one.
You knew it. Yeah. Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. This was a movie that completely came out of nowhere for me. I think I redboxed it, and I was like, I'll check it out. It is like Aliens meets Groundhog Day, and it is awesome, and very similar to the other movies we talked about. We don't need 4 other ones, but just continue the story. If you've never seen Edge of Tomorrow, even though it's past the statute,
Is it still called that? Is it still Edge of
I
Tomorrow?
call it Edge of Tomorrow because I think Live Die Repeat's dumb. The name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So
can't
it came
remember which
out
one.
as Edge of Tomorrow. Then they changed it to Live Die Repeat.
Yeah, no, that's lame. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really lame. But it is a great movie. And yeah, check it out. If you like sci-fi, if you like that continuation, basically the day repeats and he's trying to do different things. Like I said, the best way to describe this is Aliens, which is one of my favorite action movies of all time. Groundhog Day, one of my favorite comedies of all time, join forces. And Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. Tom Cruise is a weirdo, but he's a great actor. So check out this movie. And I'd love to see a sequel to this. Really would.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Den's recently rented it. Now you got to tell us what you thought, man.
Yeah, did you watch it?
Yeah, just throw up there. Yeah, he just rented it and it just sat there. He didn't actually.
Oh,
so, there we go.
did.
There we go.
Yeah.
He loved the twist. Exactly. And that's what was great about that movie.
Mm-hmm. This movie also has the late, great Bill Pullman in it. No, Bill Paxton. Excuse me. Bill Paxton. Yeah. Bill Pullman's still alive. Sorry about that. Who is
rumors, man.
I'm so gosh. Just like Joe Schumacher. Remember? Yeah, so which I always thought it was good because he was in Aliens, Bill Paxton. So anyway, Edge of Tomorrow, great sci-fi movie. Check it out.
Yeah, perfect. So here we go. So my number 4 here, and this one, Gary, I don't even know if you've seen this one, to be honest with you, but I'm going the comedy route, and mine is The Tower Heist.
I've never seen that.
So he's never seen it. So this is one that, listen, it had, I enjoyed a lot of Ben Stiller's movies, and then it also threw in there Eddie Murphy, and then I was like, all right, I'm sold. I'm there. And then as you see on the poster there, there's the dude from Ant-Man the Wasp, the hilarious dude. I always forget his name, the hilarious Hispanic guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have, what's his name, Broderick, that's in there in this thing as well. Yep. And so, and this was one that, it's a heist movie, and they're trying to break in and steal from the most secure building, in the world, kind of thing. And
Michael Pena.
Yes, Michael Pena. There we go. So it is really funny, and this what ends up happening throughout with the characters, them trying to gather everyone, because he's the premise is Ben Stiller, he's not a pro, but he's coming upon hard times, and so he's trying to make it for himself, and he needs a crew, but he needs a real thief. So he goes and finds Eddie Murphy. So then, of course, you have that whole exchange because I'm black, whatever. And you can go to how Eddie Murphy plays on all that. But Eddie Murphy really is a thief, so he can't get too mad. And then they end up working together, building this crew to steal, all this money, all this jewels, all this stuff from the tower, because they have the one guy that's hoarding all the wealth. And just being able to see what happens next, I would love to see, because I think of Now You See Me, right? Now You See Me, that movie was fun and all that. And then they brought out the second one because they want to see, okay, how is this team working together? How are they pulling off an even bigger heist, something, more complex? How are they going to do that? And I would just love to see that second step of, where are they now, and what are they doing next? And then, of course, in most heist movies, they're very serious and stuff like that. This, where it was comedic and fun, I would like to see that angle onto it as well. So this was one that, for me, I'm like, man, I would love to see a second one of this. And
I'm actually surprised I never saw this.
Yeah, it didn't get a lot of hype. I think critics didn't really care for it and stuff, because it is kind of making fun of a lot of heist movies that came out at the time. Even movies like Fast and Furious that takes itself way too seriously. But so this was just kind of poking fun and all that, and just trying to have a good time at the theater. And a lot of times people don't want to just have a good time, but that's why I liked it, because it was just a fun, good time.
What a cast! Ben Stiller, Eddie Murphy, Matthew Broderick, Michael Pena. Yeah, I gotta check that one out. Yeah, George, add that to the list. We need to watch that. Tower Heist. Yeah, that's good. All right, so my next one, I'm going to go comedy next as well.
Oh, here we go.
Once again, showing my age. Wayne's World 3. Wayne's World 3.
Now you're speaking Katie's language.
Yeah. Love the first two. Grew up watching, both of them. Had them both on VHS. And never got a third one. Let's see what Wayne and Garth are doing with adulthood. Maybe they go into fatherhood. How are they, how are they living the rock style, the TV show style, as trying to be parents? I think that would be a hilarious adventure. And but for some reason, we never got it. Very similar to Ghostbusters 3, rumors of tension and feuds. But they've gotten back together to do some Saturday Night Live stuff. But come on, give us a movie. Neither one of them are doing anything right now.
I know, right?
I think Dana Carvey still does stand-up. Hilarious stand-up, by the way. Mike Myers has not done anything in a very long time. I think his last movie was, I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come on. Give us Wayne's World 3. Yeah. Please.
I know. And obviously it'll work because Bill and Ted Face the Music came out and worked. And they got their third one, older and all that kind of stuff, still dealing with things. So, yeah, they could definitely make it happen. And it would work. It would work, gentlemen.
Old, that old story, having to grow up, that always works. That is always, you can always, so yeah, Wayne's World 3. Come on.
Yeah.
Party time.
Cole does bring up a very good point. Cat in the Hat.
Yeah. Cat in the Hat, Love Guru,
Yeah, there's a lot of stinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey,
so
make a comeback. Even if he's thinking, hey, I just want to retire. Because, there's a lot of movies of his I just don't care for. But if you're going to make a comeback, it would be for this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love Wayne's World? Wayne and Garth, So, yeah, Wayne's World 3. Let's have it, fellas. Come on.
Yep. So, all right, Gary. I told you before we started on one of mine, I would have to have a little bit of a rant.
Okay.
And it is now time for my rant because, this is near and dear to my heart, and you will completely understand why I need to rant a little bit. You may disagree, Gary. Just want you to know. You may disagree.
Oh, boy.
But here we go. I wanted The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people had issues with this movie, with the second one, because it was like, whoa, so many villains, so many plot points. Did you not learn from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3? And honestly, I thought this movie handled it better than Spider-Man 3. And yeah, there was some stuff that was silly in it, but I still had a lot of fun with this movie. I still liked this movie a lot. And then, of course, this thing ends trying to set up Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six, which would have been Rhino, Goblin, Electro, Octopus, and the Vulture, right? So, you had all these people that it was set up for, and it was like, oh, this is great that this is what we're leaning into. I mean, even the credits, the graphics in the credits were like, hey, here's what's coming. It's Sinister Six. Here's what's coming. And to finally see that up on a big screen, Spider-Man versus, this is iconic in Spider-Man lore, him versus the Sinister Six, and then different versions of it. I was so stoked to see this happen. I was very, very excited. They did a lot of things to try to stay very true to the comics. Some stuff they deviated a little bit, but they still tried to keep some things. And I was very excited to see this, and I wanted it. But, of course, they pulled the plug. And then instead, and I know, here, Gary, here, I might hurt your feelings, Gary. I'm sorry. But instead, we get Tom Holland Spider-Man, and we get the same exact story being told for the third time.
Fair enough.
And listen, I think Tom Holland is a great actor. Honestly, I think he's a great Spider-Man. I personally think he's probably the best Spider-Man we've gotten on screen. And so I like him as Spider-Man. But it's just like with Homecoming, it was a fun movie. It was fun. I liked, Mike, but to me, if it wasn't for Michael Keaton as the Vulture, I think that movie would have flopped. But but I know people might argue and say, but Ephraim, but at least with Homecoming, we didn't have to kill Uncle Ben all over again. We didn't have to do with that, but it was just kind of like, yes, he didn't have to do that, but he still has his mentor that he's looking up to. He's still having his same exact high school problems, trying to talk to his girl. How do we balance Spider? So we're having the same story being told when you already had something great that was leading into it. And what I've been wanting to see, a Spider-Man in his prime. A Spider-Man in his prime where he's figured out his life balance, he's figured some stuff out, and he is just going in being awesome Spider-Man. And instead of being challenged physically and like trying to balance his life, now he's being challenged intellectually, because now he has to really think, use his science, use his reason to outsmart 6 villains at once. And that is the movie I feel Spider-Man fans deserved. And we didn't get it. And like I said, again, we just got kind of a rehash. And I know people even think like Far From Home. I know people, Jake Gyllenhaal was great as Mysterio in that. But it was just kind of like, okay, but it's kind of the same thing. So instead of dealing with dead Uncle Ben, you're dealing with dead Iron Man. And I'm just like, can we please move this story along? And I think that's where, although, I like those other Spider-Man movies, they were fine. What I really wanted, and I think a lot of Spider-Man fans wanted, was him versus the Sinister Six that was being led up to. And now who knows where he's going. I'm sorry, rant over.
I don't know what else to say. I love Tom Holland. I like both of the movies we got from him. I loved him in Civil War. But I do think this Spider-Man definitely deserved a third one. I didn't love The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I did like it. I thought Jamie Foxx was really good in it. I'm excited to see him back as Electro.
Which further proves.
Sorry. Yeah. And no, you're good. And Andrew Garfield, right? Mm-hmm. I thought he did great in these movies. I thought he was a better Spider-Man than he was Peter Parker. I think you've told me that before. I didn't buy him as a loser in high school.
He was too cool.
Yeah. But nevertheless, the fact that this never got to be fleshed out is kind of a shame. And apparently it is completely done, because I read something the other day where Andrew Garfield hasn't even gotten a phone call about what is it?
The No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah, when they're bringing all these different Spider-Verses, but and I agree with you. It'd been cool to see another one.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you, Aunt Sherry. There you go, for saying she agrees. Yes, and she did come back. She was like, yes. And then Cole is in here. He's like, just turn the video game into a movie, problem solved. Hey, listen, the Spider-Man video game was fantastic. But because that exists, you won't see that story pan out.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well,
so there we go.
Yeah. That's going to be tough to follow. But
sorry, I just had a rant.
My last one is going to be a bit of a rant as well, and I think you might know where I'm going with this. But as I look back at my life watching movies, there's one thing that I never got, and I'd love to see it happen. We've talked about it before. We never got a proper Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman 3.
Yes, sir.
And it's kind of on the same lines as what you were saying.
I knew I couldn't touch that one. I knew you were going there.
Yeah. Everyone knows how I feel about Batman. Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, Christian Bale. They're my Batmans, is whatever you want to say it. Batman. I don't know. But the fact that Tim Burton was not allowed to make his third movie is a crying shame. And it needs to happen. Make it happen,
especially now that you have Flashpoint, different universes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find it offensive that they're talking about a Joker 2, and we still haven't gotten a proper Batman 3 in the Michael Keaton verse, Tim Burton verse. It just, So there we go.
It is a shame, and again, behind the scenes stuff that killed the third one. I'm sure Gary has seen the documentaries and little behind the scenes stuff that talk about that, which it is. It is a crying shame. It's a travesty that he never got to finish his trilogy properly, to just see it all come together. And it is something that deserved to be that, because it was like, let's be honest, if it wasn't for Tim Burton and Michael Keaton doing that first Batman movie, I don't know if we would have, superhero movies like we do today. Because that was the first superhero movie that broke through, that was actually good, and it wasn't like super dumb, and that people actually respected as a film. And so, not finishing off that storyline, just a shame.
Yep. And hopefully we'll get it one of these days. Maybe Flashpoint is a way to that, but we'll see. But I would be remiss if talking about sequels, which we would have gotten without bringing up a proper Batman 3. Because Warner Brothers, after Batman Returns, decided to go in the toy making business and got out of the movie business. And that's why Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are the way that they are. And I just want to look at Warner Brothers and just say, why are you the way that you are? Every time I try to do something fun, you make it not that way. And I hate so much about who you choose to be.
And they're still not learning from their mistakes. But we'll get on that on another day.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have one more that I want to talk about. Titanic 2, Jack's Revenge. That is a script I've put together. I've sent it to Paramount and James Cameron quite a bit. They have not responded. But, Jack returns from the deep to haunt Rose, to let her know that he should have floated on that door as well. So his story's not over. He will come back for his revenge. So, and
he can use Mythbusters for his source on why it would have worked.
Yep. So make the movie.
That's right. Make it happen. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we have.
Cole coming out of nowhere for a solid comment here. There we go. Look at this. iRobot 2.
Oh, look at that. Which is funny, Cole. I actually thought about that movie, but it had to get cut. But no, that is a solid one. And look at that. Will Smith making double appearance. But iRobot, very underrated movie.
Yes.
Very honestly, I have no idea why people dislike it so much. There are a lot of people who don't like it. I thought this movie was great.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And see, Denzel says, would Titanic 2 also be based on a true story? I think so. I have my own theories. Titanic Museum in Gatlinburg doesn't include anything about Jack Dawson, and I've written many letters, and I've may have caused a scene there. I may not be allowed on the premises when I was asking where his documents were, and they said there's no such man exists, and I said I disagree, fellas. I disagree. So
trying to wipe him out of history because of the injustice that was done to him.
Yeah, anyway, I don't want to get emotional, but yeah, iRobot, what a great movie. I did not murder him.
So good.
And let me tell you something. Domino's, watch iRobot. Watch Edge tomorrow. Watch Terminator 1 and 2. Stop there.
Yes.
And think about what you're doing with these robot cars.
Yeah, and then Apple has like some AI too.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So
we need to wake up. We have plenty of movies that say why this is a bad idea.
Oh yeah. They're coming for us. And not good.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are mine and Gary's top 5. So altogether, you have a top 10 of movies that we should have received a sequel to.
And we had different. We had different ones. How about that?
Yes, and we did.
Oh,
sometimes we overlap at least one of these, but we didn't. So you have 10 movies to choose from, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't watched it, if you want to go back and watch them, and then hopefully you agree with us. Like, wait a second, where is our sequel? So we're so glad you joined us for today. Again, subscribe, share, turn on the bell, hit that like button. And we will be back next week.
Yes.
With another one. And it might be a little fun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out later. But we'll be back next week. And, of course, if there's any movie news or anything, we'll pop back on here to discuss said movie news.
Yep. Peace out, movie lovers.
See you, everyone.